Fourth in a row, y'all. It's a tough one. Tough one. Going to break down the Leafs game. Also preview the Canadiens as well. Double barrel what if action. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get cracking on this. This is it's been tough, y'all. It's been pretty tough lately. Just, you know, like Coop said it best. He said it best after the loss on Saturday to the Isles. You know, this team is doing everything right. It's just not breaking our way right now. And that's what happens against the Leafs, if I'm being completely honest with y'all. Fourth loss in a row, 2-0. So second straight 2-0 loss as well. To open up a 4-game road trip over the next week, the loss puts the Leafs now just 2 points behind the Bolts of the Bruins for the Atlantic Division lead. The Bolts of the Bruins are at 34. Leafs are now at 32. Dennis Hildeby, he's their number 4 goaltending option. So remember, Solars is out. A couple other guys are out. He made 29 saves for his first NHL shutout. So, hat off to you, kid, making your first NHL shutout against one of the best teams in hockey. You know, after going 27 games without being shut out, the Bolts have been shut out in the last 2 games now. 2-0 both times. So, yeah, the offense is it's just gone quiet. Actually, no, I can't even say that. I can't even say it's gone quiet. Because, you know, the problem is that we're shooting. It's just not going in. You know, like Hildeby's, that's kind of wild tonight. But, you know, we've ran into a couple really good goalkeepers and Tristan Jarry. Actually, Tristan Jarry really wasn't. You know, we ran into Sorkin twice, you know, like in 3 games. And then, you know, Hildeby's tonight. So, it happens. You know, other than an early first period goal from Morgan Riley that won the game for the Leafs, like they literally won the game 4 minutes into it. We just didn't know it yet. JoJo played a really good game. You know, stopped 22 shots, really displayed some strong form. The Leafs' second goal from Austin Matthews, it came with 1 second left in the game on an empty net. So definitely not on JoJo. Yeah, you know, tough. It was a tough one, and Coop talked about it a bit. We'll talk about what he said here in a minute. But, you know, once again, continue to shoot. No avail. Nothing happened. The Atlantic leaders, we are the Atlantic leaders right now. We got to keep it up. We got to keep shooting. You know, we're in this bit of a slump right now, but, you know, we got to keep playing our brand of hockey. And, you know, Coop said it best the other night. The goal is to really keep this team on track and keep them playing our brand of hockey, even though, yeah, it's not showing it on the scoreboard, but everywhere else is showing it. He did touch on a couple things tonight, which I thought was pretty interesting. You know, all these things has just been breaking against the Bolts, but sooner or later it will break in favor of them. Like, for example, Cooch came back. He missed Saturday's game. Braden Point came back after missing 7 games, so that's nice. You know, Cooch is back on the top line with Cirelli and Hankel, and Point with the second line of Gunsel and Paul alongside him. So, you know, we'll take that all day. Cirelli, Gunsel, and Point each had 4 shots apiece. 4 Bolts did not notch it in attempts. So the Bolts that did not, Bjorkstrand, Nick Paul, Crozier, and Littleberg. Cooch led the team overall in time on ice at 24-38. Radish led all defensemen in time on ice. He had 23-42. So, you know, the boys are playing hard. You know, they're playing tough physical hockey. It's just not breaking our way. It's just not breaking our way. And that is the most frustrating part. But that is hockey. We all know that, right? You know, we're about to touch on Coop's quote here in a second. But, you know, it's easy to see why we still need to maintain this course. Even though it's not breaking our way right now, it will break our way. First, JoJo. He said, both of these quotes are said to Ben Pierce. He shared them via X. JoJo said this, though. He said, I feel like it was a pretty close game, you know. Chances at both ends. Tight game when we came up on the losing end. So we've got to keep our heads up and keep working. Could have said it better myself. You know, injuries are going to happen. Bolts got back a couple guys tonight, which is great. But, you know, we're still without Eric Chernak. We're still without Dominic James. Curtis Douglas. Vassey's now out. McDonough's out. So key pieces. Key pieces are out and not in the line, not producing right now, which will really hurt us. Obviously, our number 1 goalie. But you know, the McDonough Chernak pair is our shutdown pair, and McDonough's not out there. He did just sign an extension, which we're going to talk about here. I believe tomorrow we're going to talk about the extension, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, we are. So, you know, not having him on the ice is certainly not a bonus. Nice. Taking a look at the stuff we're doing tomorrow. I'm really excited. But yeah, it's just really frustrating. Coop said this as well. He said this to BP. He said it was tough coming in after the first period without the lead. It was one of those that just looked like whoever was going to score first was going to win, and that's pretty much how it ended. And he's right, because Riley scored about 4 minutes into the game, and then from there, no one else scored. So, a little bit unfortunate for us, especially because we've been playing pretty well and unfortunately losing. And tonight, I thought we took a step back, honestly. It was a little disappointing, especially the desperation level we should have after dropping 3 straight. Thought it was a winnable game, and it turned out it wasn't. It wasn't. And it really stinks that it wasn't. But, now we're on to Montreal. And we got to really sit back and adjust, because the Canadiens are going to cut us any slack either. Remember, this is a division rival as well. All right. Second matchup, back-to-back. Lost 4 in a row. All right. After that, we won. Before that, we won 7 in a row. So something was going right. We need to get back to that kind of hockey. This is another division foe, like you said, right? Montreal. It's the first time both of them play each other this year. First time this month as well. We play the Canadiens 4 times, but we play them first tonight, and then we play them on the 28th as well. So, right after Christmas. Canadiens aren't that far, though. They're only 1 point behind us and the Bruins for the Atlantic League. They're at 33 points. A win for the home team will give them division lead. They'll be at 35. Detroit is also at 33 points. And Toronto, after they beat us, they're at 32. So everyone's pretty, it's getting pretty close. Don't be surprised to see Halverson in that, though. Remember, Vassey's on the IR, so he's not going to be playing probably this week at all. And then JoJo, played really well against the Leafs, like we said, but he's not going to start back-to-back, I don't believe. So Halverson should be in that, and it should be interesting to see how he does. I'm intrigued to see that, because, preseason he looked pretty good, and he's done decent at Syracuse, so maybe he can take a step up and be even better here. The Canadiens, 5-4-1 their last 10. They've rebounded from a 5-game losing streak to win 3 in a row. But now, the last 5 games, they were 2-3. They did lose to the Blues last time out, 4-3, and that was at home, where we're going to be playing them. So, doesn't bode too poorly for us. A Bolts win will be great, obviously getting us back on track. Keeping top spot in the Atlantic in our possession. A loss, obviously, it won't be our possession anymore. Recent returns like Hedman, Crozier, and Point, can they affect the outcome? I think, I actually believe that Crozier and Hedman at least should be able to. Point should be able to too, but it takes time to get back on your shoe legs, as we all know. One cool thing, remember, St. Louis, he's the head coach of the Canadiens, so it's really cool to see him doing well. Would be pretty interesting to see him maybe one day down the line be the Bolts head coach again. Be the Bolts head coach, period. Come back and, really make an impact on this community again. But for now, he's doing pretty well with Montreal. If we can beat him, I'll take that all day. So, sorry, Marty, but we need the wins a little more than y'all right now. But there are a couple players out there I've been looking at, thinking about how they could improve our team. And one guy is Nicholas Roy. He's 28 years old, playing for the 3rd team in his career in Toronto after signing with the Leafs this offseason. He was a 2015 fourth-round pick by the Canes. He then played 7 games with Carolina over 2 seasons before moving to Vegas. He played the majority of his career with Vegas, including up to last year. Played in 65 games 4 times, 65 plus games at least 4 times. All of them over the last 4 seasons. 71 games last year, 31 points. Pretty even split on that too. 15 goals, 16 assists, -4 plus minus, and 15-13 time on ice. So he's definitely a 3rd and 4th line guy. Really good contributor on those lines. Got a +2 plus minus so far in 15.08 average with Toronto. His first year there. 10 points, 2 goals, and 8 assists. He's going to be a UFA in 2 summers. So summer 2027. He's going to be making $3 million this year, next year. So in his prime right now, but he's making a pretty affordable contract, especially for the role he plays. The top lines have really carried more of the offensive burden than the teams he's been on, including Vegas, obviously. And that would continue here with the Bolts. But Nicholas Roy could definitely provide a pretty decent boost to what we need. He's never scored 41 points, more than 41 points in a season. That was 2 years ago with Vegas. But he does have plenty of postseason experience. He's won a title. He knows what it takes to be there. If the Maple Leafs fall off, he'd be a good boost. He'd be a good addition to our lineup. I think he'd be really, really good fit here in Tampa. So one of the better ones we talked about so far. Another one that might not be as good a fit, but I'm still very intrigued about is Patrick Lane. Patrick Lane, the 2016 second overall pick by the Jets. Spent the first 4.5 years in his career in Winnipeg before mid-season trade to Columbus in 2020-2021. He did spend 3.5 years at the Blue Jackets, then went back up north and joined the Canadiens before the last season. So he's now in year 2 with Montreal. And his deal does end after the season. He's making $8.7 million a season right now. So it's fair to ask if he's going to make that on his next deal. Remember, he's 28, but he's dealt with a ton of injuries. His first season last year was limited by injuries. Played in 52 games, 14-18 time on ice average. Negative 14 plus minus shows that, yes, he's still not a real defensive guy, but we all know that he can contribute offensively. 20 of his 33 points last year were via goals, so he definitely knows how to put the puck in the back of the net. This year, 5 games played, has an assist in negative 3 plus minus, average 12.36. He's been out for a while, though. He's going to be out probably till about the Olympic break. He had surgery about a month ago to repair a core muscle, so it's going to be a minute until we see him again. I don't know if he's long for the Canadiens. I think they'll probably let him go in free agency, but they could trade him beforehand. Who knows what happens? He'd definitely be a boost to the Bolts lineup offensively, but the injuries, would it be worth it? That's the question, and that's really the question. So tomorrow, pretty fun one. We're going to break down obviously Canadiens Lightning game, and we're going to talk about the McDonough extension as well, and a couple other interesting tidbits. So this is Jordan Llanes signing off, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one.